Hi, this is Abby with Happy Little Mystic, and welcome back to your free self-paced tarot course. In today's lesson, we'll be talking all about the eights and how they show up across the 4 elements in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. If you missed any of our other tarot lessons so far, you can check out the playlist link in the description box below. And if you're following along with our tarot workbook, if you open up to the Minor Arcana section, you will see a place to record all the information needed to fully understand the 8 of Wands, 8 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, and 8 of Swords. Okay, let's get started. So the first card we'll talk about today is the 8 of Wands. And when we take a look at the 8 of Wands imagery, the first thing we'll notice is we have 8 wands mid-flight, angled diagonally downward as if being carried by the wind. There are no people or obstacles in this card, no delays. The clear blue sky is representing clarity, and the calm water and green land below, this is symbolizing smooth movement and harmony. This imagery is really emphasizing momentum, messages on the way, and the universe clearing the path for quick progress. It's this feeling of finally, after waiting, things are suddenly aligning. Moving over to the Zodiac sign section, the astrology behind the 8 of Wands card is Mercury in Sagittarius. The wand suit is a fire element, so Sagittarius is our fire sign in this case. Mercury is all about communication, information, and travel, whereas Sagittarius is about expansion, freedom, and movement. So together, they create this fast news, rapid progress, and events unfolding quickly with a big picture impact. The numerology for the 8 of Wands is the number 8. And in this case, it has to do with momentum, acceleration, achievement, direction, and manifestation. So again, the wand suit is our fire element. It's this desire and forward motion. The 8 becomes this unstoppable movement. If you ask a yes or no question and the 8 of Wands shows up, the answer is a strong yes, and expect things to happen quickly. If the 8 of Wands shows up in a reading in the upright position, the keywords are going to be sudden progress, news and messages coming through, momentum building, travel, green lights, things aligning quicker than expected, divine timing speeding up. It's this energy of go now, move forward, and don't overthink. If the 8 of Wands shows up in the reverse, the keywords are going to be delays, missed messages, miscommunication, feeling rushed, scattered energy, needing better planning. Reverse here is saying slow down, something isn't lining up yet. If the 8 of Wands shows up in a career or finance reading, the upright position is going to mean fast-moving opportunities, emails, calls, or approvals coming in, projects taking off, business growth, momentum after stagnation, and financially, this could indicate quick payments, transactions, or income. If it shows up in the reverse, this could indicate delayed responses, missed deadlines, miscommunication at work, project delays or slow progress, and financially possibly waiting on money or processing delays. If the 8 of Wands shows up in a love or romance reading, the upright position could indicate fast-moving romance, passionate communication, someone reaching out, sparks flying. It could also mean a relationship suddenly progressing. This card could show up if someone is about to text you or reach out. If it shows up in the reverse, this could indicate mixed signals, slow or inconsistent communication, delayed meeting or reunion, feeling like momentum has stalled. So sometimes this indicates someone pulling back. Moving on to our connections to other cards section, the 8 of Wands is connected to the Chariot in our major arcana, and they both have to do with forward motion and determination. The 8 of Wands is also associated with the Wheel of Fortune. And again, this is that timing, rapid change, and both are supporting the message of life is accelerating in your favor. Now we'll take a look at how the Eight of Wands shows up in some of the other tarot decks I have on hand. We'll first start with our Wild Reflections tarot deck. In this deck, the Eight of Wands is shown here with this rapid waterfall here flowing down. I love here that they added the growth of the nature, the leaves coming off of these wands. We definitely still get that fast momentum movement piece with the flowing, rushing waterfall. In our next deck, I have Guardian Angel Messages Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. In this deck, the Eight of Wands is known as the Eight of Fire. And I love how it mimics the original imagery here with these very fast-moving wands. The wands in this deck are these orbs at the end with angel wings. It's really showing this taking flight and moving at rapid speed on almost like this unearthly level. So the words here we have are speed, activity, and multitasking. And then finally, I have the Angel Tarot cards also by Radleigh Valentine. And in this deck, the wands are these very colorful, again, almost like this orb here, this egg, showing this passion and drive. And I like how they're all going in different directions. They definitely show this momentum taking off. So we have here events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, and many things happening all at once. And this card really shows that. Okay, that's all I have for the Eight of Wands. In the next section, we'll talk about the Eight of Cups. If you're following along with our tarot workbook, you can go ahead and turn to the Cup section in the Minor Arcana, and you'll find a place to record the information for the Eight of Cups. So looking here at the imagery, right away we'll notice that we have this cloaked figure walking away from a stack of 8 cups. It's under this moonlit sky. The cups here are arranged neatly. Nothing is broken or knocked over, and this is symbolizing a life that looks fine on the surface. But the missing cup in the upper row here is hinting at a spiritual or emotional void. And the figure's red cloak here symbolizes courage. So the mountain path that they're about to take is symbolizing growth, and the moon is reflecting that intuition guiding the journey. So this card is the soul saying, there's more out there for me. We'll see that the figure is walking away from this life that may look fine on the surface. I also like here with the moon can symbolize this illusion. So the figure here again is choosing to walk away from what isn't serving them any longer and breaking that illusion, using their intuition to find the better path or a new path for them. Moving over to the zodiac sign section, the cup suit has to do with the water element, and so it's going to be a water sign. In this case, the Eight of Cups is associated with Saturn in Pisces. So Saturn is all about lessons, maturity, and responsibility. And then Pisces, our water sign, is all about emotion, intuition, and the spirituality. So together, it's all about this emotional maturity to walk away from what no longer nourishes the soul. The numerology for the Eight of Cups is the number 8. And in this case, the 8 is all about emotional mastery, soul evolution, leaving cycles behind, and moving toward deeper fulfillment. If you ask a yes or no question and the 8 of Cups shows up, the answer is generally no. And this is because a situation isn't aligned or fulfilling anymore. If the 8 of Cups shows up in the upright position, the keywords are going to be leaving something behind, spiritual awakening, emotional withdrawal, searching for meaning, choosing yourself, outgrowing a situation, and quite often it appears when someone is ready to follow their heart into the unknown. If the 8 of Wands shows up in the reverse, and you're choosing to read reversals, the keywords are going to be fear of leaving, feeling stuck, staying in a situation out of comfort, emotional avoidance, or returning to something from the past. And this is the I know I need to leave, but I'm scared energy. If the Eight of Cups shows up in a career or finance reading, the upright position could indicate feeling unfulfilled at work, considering leaving a job, burnout, or wanting purposeful work. So financially, this could mean leaving behind old habits or old financial patterns. If it shows up in the reverse, this could indicate staying somewhere unhealthy, fear of change, doubting your direction, and financially, this could mean avoiding financial truth or repeating patterns. If the Eight of Cups shows up in a love or romance reading, the upright position can indicate emotional withdrawal, walking away from a relationship, needing space, and realizing something is missing. Sometimes this shows a spiritual disconnect between partners. If it shows up in the reverse, this could be a fear of abandonment, staying in a stagnant situation, returning to a past relationship, or feeling emotionally stuck and unsure of what to do. Moving on to our connections to other cards section. The Eight of Cups is associated with the Hermit card in our major arcana, and this is all about that inner journey that we need to take. We also have the Death card. This is all about walking away from things that no longer serve you. So these endings that lead to transformation. And then finally, it's also associated with the Moon. Both have the Moon present. And in this case, it's this intuition guiding you through uncertainty. So these are all supporting this message of your soul is leading you to something better. Now we'll take a look at how the Eight of Cups shows up in some of the other tarot decks that I have. Starting off with the Angel Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine. In this deck, the cups here are located at the bottom of the ocean. We have the Eight of Water. And again, I like how they tried to stay true to the original imagery here. We have a figure or a mermaid here going away, having their back toward these cups that are scattered. It says, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. So the Eight of Cups isn't always easy, but it is necessary. Next, we have the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot, also by Radleigh Valentine. And in this deck, again, we have this person walking away. The difference is that their cups have all been knocked over. So it clearly was not enough. So a slight nuance there in the cards. We have an angel here almost guiding or meeting this person along the way. So we have the Eight of Water, searching, empowerment, and fulfillment. Okay, and then lastly, we have the Wild Reflections Tarot deck. And in this deck, the cups are depicted by these beautiful shells here. And again, we have this woman and her back is to the cups, these shells. I like how she's walking away and the birds are almost celebrating with her or helping her, guiding her. She's not alone and she's walking toward, it looks as if she's taking a path toward that bright sun ahead of her. So on to new horizons here. Very nice. Okay, so that's all I have for the Eight of Cups. In our next section, we'll be talking about the Eight of Swords. If you're following along with our tarot workbook, you can go ahead and turn to the Swords section. You'll find a place to record the information needed for the Eight of Swords. Right away, we'll notice a blindfolded woman is tied loosely here, and she's surrounded by 8 swords. The ropes or straps here are loose enough for her to slip out of, and the path is open ahead of her. This is showing mental imprisonment. So one thing we know about the swords, it's that air element, which is all about the mental mind, that mindset. It's something that's been created by fear, overthinking, or limiting beliefs. So this imprisonment is not from external restrictions. The gray sky here is reflecting this uncertainty, and the water at her feet is representing emotions that she's not fully acknowledging. Moving over to the zodiac sign section, this being an air element tells us that we'll have an air sign that's associated with it. In this case, it is Jupiter in Gemini. So Jupiter is all about expansion, and Gemini is all about thoughts and communication. So this can show in this instance that the mind is expanding in the wrong direction. It's overthinking and it's spiraling into this anxiety, where this woman feels trapped and can't break free. When if she realized it was her thinking, she'd be able to take off that blindfold and spot that there's a castle behind her. The numerology for the Eight of Swords is the number 8. And in this case, it's about mental mastery, confronting fears, breaking old thinking patterns, and reclaiming clarity. If you ask a yes or no question and the Eight of Swords shows up, the answer is generally a no, or not until you change your mindset or see the truth. So something is being blocked here mentally. If the Eight of Swords shows up in a reading in the upright position, the keywords are going to be feeling trapped, anxiety, overthinking, self-doubt, victim mentality, or limitations that are mental and not real. So this card says you are not as stuck as you feel. If the Eight of Swords shows up in the reverse and you're choosing to read reversals, the keywords are going to be mental breakthroughs, clarity, freedom, taking your power back, seeing the truth, and releasing fear. So reverse, it's this moment that the blindfold comes off. It's one of those cards that you really wouldn't mind if it showed up in the reverse. If the Eight of Swords shows up in a career or finance reading, the upright position could indicate feeling trapped at work, fear of leaving a job, self-doubt about abilities, overthinking your decisions, or this possible worry and fear of making mistakes and this avoidance that comes with that. If it shows up in the reverse, this could indicate career clarity, realizing you have options, leaving a restrictive job, or this relief from financial stress or clearing confusion. If the Eight of Swords shows up in a love or romance reading, the upright position could indicate feeling trapped or misunderstood, fear of speaking up, overthinking the relationship, or restrictive dynamics. Sometimes this can indicate emotional withdrawal due to fear. If it's reversed, this could indicate opening communication, seeing someone's true intentions, releasing fear in a relationship, and overcoming old patterns. The Eight of Swords is associated with a couple of our major arcana. First, the Devil. So both have these self-imposed chains here. So in the Devil card, these chains are very loose and these figures can get out of them if they can overcome their self-limiting beliefs. And that's the same here. We also have the Justice card. And justice has to do with truth, clarity, and perspective. So together they say that your mind is the key to your freedom. Now we'll take a look at how the Eight of Swords shows up in some of the other tarot decks that I have on hand. First, in our Wild Reflections tarot deck, I love this depiction. So the swords in this deck are shown with a bow and arrow. And in this case, we have our 8 arrows here. And this woman is looking at a reflection of herself all tied up as if mentally she's trapped. It's also showing her beneath this water here. So feeling bogged down and not able to do what she needs to do based on how she's feeling mentally. Her up here, though, above is almost showing that she's rising above this anxiety and hopefully able to move on from these self-limiting beliefs. The next deck we have is the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. In this deck, we have the 8 of Air and this woman here trapped behind, barricaded behind this prison of swords, these 8 swords. I also love how they incorporated the icicles here, this cold feeling. The words we have are self-doubt, confusion, and free will. So again, this reminder that she's not trapped. She can easily move the swords or go in the other direction. I also like how they put this little feather there as a reminder that she's not alone. Very nice. And then finally, we have the Angel Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine. And in this deck, we have the 8 of Air. The air element in this deck are the unicorns with our horns here, our swords, and they are running toward us. It's almost as if these horses are chasing this single one here. And it says here, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and afraid to take action. So that's all I have for the Eight of Swords. In our last section, we'll take a deep dive into the Eight of Pentacles. If you're following along with our tarot workbook, you can go ahead and turn to the Pentacles section in the Minor Arcana, and you'll see a place to record the information for the Eight of Pentacles. Taking a closer look at the imagery, right away we'll see we have a craftsman sitting on a bench carving a pentacle one by one. So each coin on this pole here on this tree trunk is representing a completed mastery, while the one in front of him is showing this continued dedication, the hard work that goes into this. We'll notice way back here there's a town, and it's in the background showing his work is supporting not just him, but his place in the world. So he's feeling very fulfilled. This card is symbolizing skill building, craftsmanship, hard work, consistency, and this pride in your craft. I like his face here too. The facial expression is definitely showing content, peacefulness with what he's doing. Moving on to the zodiac sign section. This being an earth element, we're going to go along with one of our earth signs. And in this case, this card is Sun in Virgo. The Sun is this identity and purpose, while Virgo is skill, detail, and improvement. It has this energy of dedicating yourself to growth and this refinement. The numerology for the Eight of Pentacles is the number 8. In Pentacles, the 8 becomes mastery, consistent effort, material progress, commitment, and work that leads to long-term reward. If you ask a yes or no question and the Eight of Pentacles shows up, the answer is yes, but with the message, your effort determines your results. If the Eight of Pentacles shows up in the upright position, the keywords are going to be hard work, skill development, dedication, apprenticeship, leveling up, or consistency that's paying off. So this is the keep going, you're getting better card. If the Eight of Pentacles shows up in the reverse and you're choosing to read reversals, the keywords are going to be cutting corners, low quality work, lack of motivation, burnout, or needing to refine your skills. It can also warn against being too perfectionistic. If the Eight of Pentacles shows up in a career or finance reading, the upright position can indicate promotions, becoming an expert, new training or certifications, or this reliable income through consistent effort. Financially, this could mean discipline pays off or long-term stability. If it shows up in the reverse, this could indicate stagnation, feeling uninspired, not putting in the needed effort, sloppy work, and financially poor money habits or a lack of focus. If the Eight of Pentacles shows up in a love or romance reading, the upright position can indicate willingness to put in the effort, building something stable, learning each other's needs, and a relationship improving through consistent action. In the reverse, this could indicate one-sided effort, someone not wanting to do the work, neglect, and repeating old relationship mistakes. This can also indicate perfectionism affecting closeness. Moving on to our connections to other cards section, the Eight of Pentacles is associated with a few of our major arcana. First, it's associated with the Magician, and that's because it has skill and mastery. It's also associated with the Strength card, with our discipline and dedication here. And then finally, with the Hierophant. And this is all about learning and creating structure. So together they highlight this mastery through consistent practice. Now we'll take a look at how the Eight of Pentacles shows up in some of the other decks that I have on hand. First, we'll take a look at the Angel Tarot cards by Radley Valentine. In this deck, the Eight of Pentacles is known as the Eight of Earth. And we have this fairy here, this angel sitting, and he's reading. He's studying up. And each one of these books has a pentacle. It says here, skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic, and going back to school. I just love the colors in this card. Next, also by Radley Valentine, I have the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. In this deck, very similar to our original, we have the Eight of Earth, and this woman here is honing her skill, her craft, her dedication. She is building these beautiful, intricate pentacles, doing woodworking here and studying on the best practices. So it says education, focus, and details. Very nice. And then finally, we have our Wild Reflections Tarot deck. And in this deck, the pentacles are depicted by sunflowers. And I like how they have this man here watering his plants. So he's taking that time and dedication and consistent effort to grow these beautiful pentacles. Very nice. Okay, so that is all I have for the eights in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. In our next lesson, we'll do a deep dive into what the 9 cards mean and how to read their energies in different scenarios. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.